You feel that?
You know, I just feel like I need to lose some of these pounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more fat and shit.
I think we're gonna have to be quiet. Yeah, tell your wife what I did in here. Also kill yourself.
Wow. Alright people, what's up everyone, and welcome to another movie review for the Month of Gorror 2018. And of course, I am here to talk about my boy, Mikey Myers, as he returns in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. There he is, look at him, he's back. And of course, Halloween 3, he wasn't in it, even though technically the first movie was in Halloween 3. That's like a little meta gag, in a way. But this movie is The Return because the third one didn't really do that well. I mean, it did okay, but a lot of people didn't care for it because it didn't have Michael Myers. They were upset about that. They were like, where is he? I don't see him. Where's that Shatner mask? I don't see it. So, a few years later, they decided to make another one with Michael Myers without even really explaining how he came back after the end of Halloween 2. That also includes Sam Loomis. He comes back too. Donald Pleasance comes back as Sam Loomis, of course. And they don't really explain. I'll get to that in a minute. But, he's back, and this is the beginning of the Thorn Trilogy of the Halloween series. The whole Cult of Thorn or whatever. So yeah, that's exciting. Let's talk about The Return of Mikey Myers. Alright, so the Return of Michael Myers is not a bad Halloween movie. I know a lot of people would consider it the beginning of the downfall of the Halloween series, but I actually enjoyed this one. I had a moderately entertaining time, even though I would say there are a lot of really slow moments. And my major complaint, I'm just going to straight up tell you right here, I don't think Michael Myers is that much of an imposing figure in this movie. There's something about the guy that performed Michael Myers in this and the way his mask looks and just the way he does things that doesn't really terrify me. He still terrified me in Halloween 2. He terrified me in the first movie. This one, there's just something about him. I don't know if it is the performance or just the way he looks or just the things he does, or maybe it's just the movie itself has a little bit more of a goofy tone to it, especially in the beginning. There's something about this Michael Myers that does not scare me. I don't know why, and that's a major detriment to the movie. Now, that's not to say the movie is bad. Like I said, I actually enjoyed it. I did really enjoy it. When it comes to the kills are top-notch. You get some great ones. You get one where Michael Myers shoves his thumb in a guy's brain right through his freaking forehead. Classic. Someone gets impaled on a wall with a shotgun. I mean, do I need to say more? Someone gets their throat ripped out. And yeah, do I need to tell you who's doing all this stuff? Of course it's Mikey Myers. Who else would impale someone on a wall with a shotgun? But people get dismembered. There's an electrocution. There's a gun shootout. There's some great moments in this movie and some great looking kills. A lot of practical effects, of course, and a lot of them are grisly. It's definitely, when it comes when you compare this to the first two movies, it is the most violent of the movies, especially if you compare this to the first one. It doesn't even look like it belongs to the same series when it comes to the violence. And when it comes to the deaths, I believe this is the biggest death count so far of the series. I'm sure this isn't right, but I counted about 17 deaths. If you count the dogs and the people that were kind of off-screen deaths and stuff like that, there's about 17 kills in this movie, so you get quite a bit of bang for your buck. And it's also, I think, the shortest movie. It's over around like 85 minutes long, so you don't have to waste too much time with this movie. It's over before you even know it. Now, another major problem with this movie is its story. The story itself, while not bad, it's just a typical Halloween movie where we have Michael Myers going after someone that is related to him. Along the way, he murders countless people, and of course, Sam Loomis is there and he's trying to stop him. There's a couple police officers, there's a sheriff, you know, stuff we've seen in the first Halloween. Nothing too special here. There's a couple of neat little things and a couple of characters that I really liked, but we'll get to that. But for the most part, the story itself is very simple. But what I really didn't like is how it wrapped, how it connected itself to Halloween 2. Halloween 2 ended, spoilers for Halloween 2. Please leave if you don't want to hear spoilers. But it ended with Sam Loomis blowing himself up in a hospital room along with Michael Myers. Michael Myers walks out of that room completely on fire. Just his entire body was on fire. He falls down dead, and he's just a burning corpse. That's it. That's the end of Halloween 2. Sam Loomis sacrifices himself to kill Michael Myers because he knows he's true evil, and that's it. Perfect. Perfect ending. This one doesn't even try to make it make sense how both of them survived. Sam Loomis shows up in this movie, and he has literally the worst looking scar ever. And I will say why that is, because throughout the entire movie, the scar changes. Sometimes it looks really grotesque, and sometimes it literally looks like someone put some putty on his face. It's the worst. It's so inconsistent. It's so ridiculous. I couldn't stand it every time he showed up, and his scar looked a little bit different. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Now, Michael Myers, I'm actually okay with him surviving, because I know they're trying to make him this undead being where he's just pure evil. That's what Sam Loomis says. So I'm okay with him surviving, even though the first time we see him, he's supposed to have, you know, went through that fire death that he had 10 years ago, but he looks pretty fine for the most part. I mean, you don't really see his face or anything, but you see his hands and stuff, and for the most part, he looked okay. I mean, they were a little messed up, but not too bad, considering he was a fireball, but whatever. It just really annoyed me, and I also didn't really like the first 15 minutes, even though I had one really awesome death. That was the thumb in the brain. The first like 15 minutes is just all recap stuff and doing the bland stuff where they introduce the new characters, and the new characters' intros aren't really all that interesting. And that's the main problem, is that the first 15 minutes are boring and slow and just tedious, and it has one good death scene, but that's about it. And then the movie starts to pick up from there. So the story itself isn't that great, and the intro is really slow, I believe. But the movie does pick up, and it actually does have some good moments. Now, like I said, there are plenty of really good things. I already talked about the kills. The kills were great. The thumb in the brain, the throat rip, that was grotesque. I loved it. The shotgun impaled to the wall, that's unique. I'll give it that. It was pretty fun. There's even a segment later on in the movie where the entire town the electric gets turned off in the entire town because Michael Myers sabotaged the electric, and there's no lights or anything, and it's just a bunch of people inside a house getting stalked and killed by Michael Myers, and I thought that was really well done, and it did remind me a lot of the first movie, but maybe about 10 times as many kills as the first movie. But I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. I thought the lighting was really good. I thought some of the cinematography was great. There's actually one scene where a guy is watching the door in the house, like just making sure, you know, Michael Myers doesn't come in, and you can kind of see his mask in the background. And it's like just barely lit, and you barely see it. It's really creepy. There's some really good lighting, some really good performances. Of course, Donald Pleasance is back, and he's still great as Sam Loomis. He does a great job. And I actually like that we get a couple of scenes of him and Michael Myers. They don't really talk to one another, of course, because Michael Myers doesn't really talk. But we get to see like Sam Loomis try to persuade Michael Myers to stop doing what he's doing, and I really enjoyed those scenes. I really liked Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd, even though she's like about, what, 8 or 9 in the movie. She actually does a really good job here. When she's supposed to be terrified, she does a great job. There's even a really good moment where a bunch of bullies are, you know, bullying her, as they do, and they're doing the most grotesque bullying I've ever seen in a movie, where they're like making fun of her because her mom was killed and stuff, and she's an orphan or whatever. It's horrible, so bad, and it made me wonder, where the hell are the teachers to stop this? This is horrible. They're screaming this too. It's a mob of kids. Hey, you don't have a mother. I'm like, Jesus. And she just runs out the house or the school, and she's really upset, and she's even trying to calm herself down. She's just like, don't listen to them, just calm down. And I'm like, oh, that was really good, really well done. I thought that was some good acting on her. Good job, Danielle Harris. You're good. There's even a moment in this movie that I actually love. There's a part where we get to see a bar filled with like these drunk, shotgun wielding townspeople that hear about Michael Myers returning, and they remember what happened 10 years prior, and they say, no, screw that. We're not just going to let Michael Myers go around murdering people that we love. So they actually get their shotguns, they go out in their trucks, and they start hunting down Michael Myers. And I thought that was great. And there's even a scene that reminded me of the scene in Halloween 2 where the kid gets ran over, and then the freaking car explodes. Everybody remembers that part? There's a scene like that with these mob people, and I thought that was really fun. And, you know, I mean, maybe a little messed up, but still, you know, It was fun. I thought it was fun. So overall, Halloween 4 has a lot of problems. It definitely does. But I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. And I think that might be because the movie itself is only 85 minutes long, does not waste time. The intro itself is slow, but after that, it really picks up and it starts going full speed pretty much, and I really enjoy most of it. Towards the end, there is a couple of slow moments in that whole the house moment where Michael Myers is stalking all these people in the house, but for the most part, it doesn't really slow down at all after that first 15 minutes, and it is a good time. Also, I didn't even talk about Rachel, pretty much the main character of this movie, the Jamie Lee Curtis of this movie, who is the heroine that has to fight off Michael. She's really good too, and the actress does a good job. The acting is really good in this. I was actually very surprised by how good the acting is and how great some of the characters were. So I have to give this credit. I actually probably like this movie, even though it does ruin the great ending of Halloween 2. I think it actually might be better than Halloween 2 in my eyes, because there's a lot more going on here with characters that I like, and better kills, and it's also a little bit shorter. So I think I have to give this one a slightly higher score. I'm going to give this one a 25 out of 40. I gave Halloween 2, I believe, a 24 out of 40. I could be wrong. Maybe I gave it higher. I'm not sure. I'm going to give this a 25 out of 40. It's a solid little movie. I really enjoyed it. So there you go. That is Halloween 4. It does ruin the ending of Halloween 2, but besides that, there's not too much bad, like really bad stuff here and there. You know, I mean, there's some really odd scenes here and there that I don't feel like they should be in the movie. There's a whole scene where Loomis is talking to some priest character, and it just felt odd that was in there. I get the point of the reason why it was in there, but it just felt so strange, you know? But I mean, I enjoyed it. I actually did enjoy that scene. It's just, I don't know, it was weird. But anyway, I enjoyed it. So anyway, there you go. That is my review for Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Look forward to Halloween 5 soon. There you go. Thank you. Until next time.
Boo!
Gotcha.